everyone. In this video, I'm going to go over physical and chemical change. So in a physical change, my definition that I like to say is nothing new is made at all. Nothing new is made. So envision taking a piece of paper and ripping it in half. Hold on a second. I want to do it. If I take this piece of paper right here and I rip it in half, have I made anything new? No, I mean, I have now 2 pieces of paper, but I didn't make anything new. It's still paper. So physical change is when nothing new is made. Now, a chemical change, something new is made. So if I took this piece of paper and I lit it on fire, that would make something new and also be fun. Now, there are ways that you can observe in a lab that it's chemical or physical. And those are the ones that this is what I really want you to focus on today when you are doing the little lab activity we have for you. So for a chemical change, if you see something bubbling, that's an indicator of a chemical change. Now, I don't want you to think if I go put a pot of water on my stove to cook some pasta or some ramen and it's bubbling, that I'm chemically changing the water. That's different because I'm forcing that to happen. I'm heating it up. That is actually a physical change because it is still water. It's just going from the liquid to the gas phase and it's evaporating. Chemical change, when you see the bubbling, it's spontaneous. So you take 2 things, you add it together, and it just starts bubbling on its own. That's a chemical change. Another indicator is color change. Now, color change is not always chemical. If I take food coloring and put it in water, I'm changing the color of that water. But I still have food color and I still have water. It's just mixed together. So that's actually a physical change. So like food coloring in water. Nothing new was made, I just mixed them. A chemical change, another indicator would be a change in energy. We usually see this as heat being given off, light being given off, or sound. And for the heat part, that may also change the temperature that you feel. So something may feel hot or cold. So if something is giving off heat or actually taking it away, so it feels cold, if it's giving off light or if it gives off sound, those are all changes in energy and are examples of a chemical change. Now, a new one for you that you may not know from high school is something called a precipitate. If a precipitate is formed, then that is also a chemical change. And what a precipitate is, it's a solid, but it's a solid formed from 2 liquids. So think about that. I mix one liquid, I put another liquid. Most of the time, what do you have? A liquid. But a precipitate is when you get a solid out of those liquids. And it's a chemical reaction that's happening behind the scenes. We'll talk more about that later this year. But that is definitely an example of a chemical change. So as you're going through the lab today and your skills check, keep these things in mind. Physical, nothing new is made. Examples, boiling water, food coloring in water. Chemical change, something new is made. And those are your 5 ways to kind of see that happen.